Welcome to the module on measuring crime and criminal behavior. The outline: in this particular module, we will be covering three different ways of measuring crime and criminal behavior: official crime statistics, victim surveys, and self-report study. Learning outcomes: we will examine the different ways of measuring crime. We will also understand the term the dark figure of crime and describe the advantages and disadvantages of the different methods of measuring crime. Measuring crime and criminal behavior. The task of measuring crime is important for a number of reasons. All of us are interested to know how much crime is there in society and how prevalent the different types of crimes are. All of us are interested to know how often murders take place, how often a person's house gets robbed, etc. And because we are so interested in the amount of crime, we have noticed that there are a number of shows that have been developed that are based on crime. Criminologists typically recognize that there are two main approaches for measuring crime. The first one is official crime statistics, and the second one is victim surveys. Now let us understand what these mean. Official crime statistics are those that are gathered by law enforcement agencies and are based on offences that are reported to or otherwise come to the attention of relevant law enforcement authorities. It basically means that any crime that the police come to know about and are reported to the police are included in the official crime statistics. Maybe someone comes to the police station and reports a crime. Or maybe when the police were patrolling, they came to know about certain crimes taking place. Another way that the police come to know about the different crimes is through social media, phone calls, WhatsApp messages, etc. All Western countries meticulously collect and publish official crime statistics very regularly. In England and Wales, these are known as recorded crime statistics. Even though official crime statistics provide a lot of valuable information about the prevalence of different types of crimes in society, they do have some well-recognized limitations or disadvantages. The first one is because they are largely based on criminal offences that are either reported to the police or come to the attention of the police, they inevitably represent only a sample of the total amount of crime. That is, only a small quarter of the crime actually gets reported to the police, and there are a number of crimes that do not get reported to police. And hence, official crime statistics includes only a small amount of crime that is reported. Criminologists use the term the dark figure of crime to refer to those unreported and undetected cases. So any case that is not reported to the police or does not come to the awareness of the police is known as the dark figure of crime. To make matters more problematic, there are certain offences that get reported more often as compared to other offences. For example, property offences will be reported while sexual offences will not be reported. When one wants to claim for insurance, the first step one needs to do is to file an FIR, and hence property crimes are often mostly reported. Whereas because of shame, many people do not encourage you going to the police when a sexual offense is committed against you. 10 reasons why official crime statistics fluctuate over time. The first one is the amount of crime is actually changing. That is, the amount of crime that was taking place in the past and what is there in the present has changed. Changes in the reporting practices of the public. If the public reports more crime, automatically the number of cases in the official crime statistics also increases. If the public reports less crime, then the number of cases in the official crime statistics decreases. When there are changes in the law, it also affects the official crime statistics. Whereas when there are changes in the police numbers and police policy, again it affects the official crime statistics. Improvement in the police efficiency and effectiveness also increases the number of the reported crimes in official crime statistics. If the police are inefficient, then the number of crimes that are reported will automatically be less. Changes in the law enforcement and changes in the level of the tolerance of the police. If the police are very tolerant to the crime, the number of crimes reported will be less as compared to when the police are intolerant towards crime. When there are changes in the police recording practices as well, there will be change in the number of official crime statistics. And the last one is manipulation of crime statistics. If the crime statistics are manipulated, automatically it will be shown in the official crime statistics. A second common approach for measuring crime in society is victim survey. Now, what is the meaning of victim survey? Victim surveys involve obtaining information about the experience of victimization from a representative sample of the population over a particular time period, which basically means that the victims themselves come and talk about the different crimes that were committed against them. For example, I as a victim will talk about my gold chain being robbed at Margao market. In England and Wales, this information is captured under the term the British Crime Survey, and in the United States, the equivalent survey is referred to as the National Crime Victimization Survey. Now remember that victim surveys reveal a great deal more crime than is captured in the official crime statistics. Although victim surveys are enormously useful for understanding crime in society, like official crime statistics, victim surveys also have some limitations. Because they rely on the reporting of the victimization from the public, they are subject to the natural limitations of human memory. We should remember that our memory is not 100% accurate. Over time, we tend to forget things as well as we tend to believe something happened when it could have been an imaginary cause. A third type of method is the self-report study. Self-report studies involve obtaining information from individuals about their experiences as offenders. So, in the self-report study, the offenders themselves come to talk about the different types of crimes they have committed. They cover offences like illicit drug use, which are poorly represented in both official crime statistics and victim surveys. Although self-report studies can provide valuable information that may be missed in other types of research, remember that they are limited by the sample employed and the willingness of the individuals to disclose information. A quick recap of what has been completed in this module. So remember that when you are talking about measuring crime and criminal behavior, there are three different ways: official crime statistics, victim survey, and self-report study. Official crime statistics refer to all those crimes that have been reported to or come to the awareness of the police. Victim surveys include those crimes where the victim themselves talk about all the crimes that were committed against them. And in self-report studies, the offender themselves come and talk about the different types of crimes that they have committed.